Hello everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Raka Aditya Firmansyah. I'm from NUSAPUTRA University, Faculty of Law 21, Class F. In this video, I will explain a law of commitment in Indonesian that sorts from the law. Thanks for lecture Abdul Gapur MPD. Okay, this video next. Preliminary in civil law, there are many things can be covered on of this which in engagement. An engagement is a legal relationship in the field of property between two or more people in which one party is entitled. In everyday life, many people are not aware that every day that do engagements. Things such as buying an item or using public transportation service, the rental agreement for these things and engagement in the Indonesian is regulated in Book 3 of the Civil Code BW. In civil law, there are many things can be covered on of which in engagement is a legal relationship in the file of property between two or more people where one party is entitled to something and the other party is obligated to something. The legal relationship in this video, property is a legal consequence, the legal consequence of agreement or other legal gift to an agreement. Next, this paper benefit formulation of the problem. Number one, what is the meaning of the law obligation in a broad sense? Number two, what are subjects and object in the law obligation? Paper purpose to know what is meant by law obligation, to know the subject and the object in the law obligation, explain agreement and the law of obligation. Next, the theoretical basis in engagement is a legal relationship between two people or two parties based on which the parties are obligated to file the demands. Well, the agreement is an event where one person promises the another person of where the two people promise is order to carry out something. Law of engagement is a set of rules that provide regulation. According to Abdul Qadir, an engagement is a legal relationship that occurs between one person and another due to acts of event or circumstance. An implied agreement is called an agreement because the two parties agree to the something can be said that the two words covenant and the agreement are the same in meaning. Contract and agreement law because it refers everything agreement of agreement. In planning or making a contract, uh, the important thing that must be considered by the parties is the condition for the validity of the agreement or contract and regulation in article number 1320 of the Civil Code, which in essence regulation number one agree in the parties, number two specific object, number three skill of the parties, number four halal cause. Discussion definition of obligation. The law obligation in the broad term. The term commitment is the equivalent of the Dutch term Fabrintins Munir Fuadi number 1999. This one, yes. The term engagement law includes all provisions in the third of both the Civil Code. Engagement is defined is a legal provisions in the third of the Civil Code. Engagement is defined as a legal relationship that occurs between two or more people, which is located in the property sector, with one party being entitled to achievement and the other party being obliged to fulfill this achievement. While the law of engagement is interpreted as a set of rules that provide arrangement for the performance of the agreement. Source of engagement law. The source engagement in Article number 1233 of the Civil Code. Article of number 1233 of the Civil Code. Every agreement is born good because is good agreement because of the law. Based on this provision, there are two sorts of engagement. Number 10, namely the first engagement born of agreement or agreement. The second agreement born of law. And agreement number one of an agreement. Number two, an association born of law according to article number 1352 of the Civil Code. Agreement that are born because of the law, origins from the law, and come from consequence of human action. Agreement born from human legal consequence are divided into namely article number 1353 of the Civil Code and engagement right arises for a law's cause. Next, engagement objects. The engagement is the right of the creditor and obligation of the debtor. Object of engagement is the achievement of fulfillment of the engagement. Engagement subject number the subject of the engagement is the parties to an engagement, namely the creditor who is entitled and the debitor who is obliged for the performance. If a debtor not fulfill the engagement, the debtor is called is a breach of contract, a default before being declared of contract, a summons in a breaker string number 13, which is a warning the debtor of fulfill obligation. Obligation charge origin from the law. For example, the law places an obligation on parents and children to provide for its others, like was between owner neighbor. Yes, certain right and obligation based on situation. Provide apply article number 6 to 5 in conjunction with article number 6 to 6 of the Civil Code. The right obtained from the law or elimination right. Okay, and engagement born as a result of the action of lawful person informed in article number 1354 of the Civil Code, which reads: if a person voluntarily withdraws receiving an order to do so, represent the affair is of another person with or this person knowledge they have certainly been helps to continue and settle the matter so that the person whose interests are represented can work on the matter himself. Next conclusion, there are bonds that are born because of the law which are solely stipulated by law, such as the obligation of parents to look after children. An engagement this is born to the human act that violates the law requires the person will because of this her action cause harm to another person to provide and compensation, an agreement born to of agreement. Determine the form, type, and content of the agreement as long as it fulfills the requirements of the agreement as stipulated in article number 1320. BW does not violate public order and morality. This is in line with article number 133H number 1BB, which states the whole agreement made legally applies law for the makers, meaning that from agreement there are legal consequences in the form of right obligation of the party was who makes the agreement and the content of the agreement is one of the prevention that must be considered by carrying out the suggestion. This is a habit that with the complex of this paper, reader can understand the general understanding of engagement law and engagement law, which are such from the law because are very important in people life, because almost all of our important people is because almost all life relates to agreement. By understanding the law of engagement, we can identification what extent have legal consequence and which do not, and trying used to be careful making every decision. This is a book recommendation. Thank you. Cukup sekian yang dapat saya sampaikan, lebih dan kurangnya mohon dimaafkan. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.